In my experience, there's a humongous difference between mutual aid and charity work. And in Haiti, you see really evidence of it. There's a lot of money spent on the UN, and there's a lot of UN trucks and a lot of UN bases, and they can't pass out food tickets because in Darfur they traded sex for food for kids. And they can't do this, and they can't do that, and they can't do this, and they can't do that, and they can't do this, and this. And all of a sudden you're like, there's really not all that much they can do. They're kind of a prepared army, and the population really resents them and doesn't understand why they're there. And they keep hearing about how much money Haiti's getting, and they don't see it happening. And smaller groups that work in community, and they go to the community, what do you need? What do you need? You tell us what you need. It's not on our mandate of what you need. It's not one size fits all what your community needs. Who are the people in your community who are helping the most people? Who are the most selfless people in your community? Who know where all the elderly are? Who are taking care of these children who've been abandoned? Who are those people? And supporting those people and saying, how can we support you? How can we do this together? For us at GiveLove, it's an exchange of information, working together with community, seeing what they need, how they want to do it, who in their community wants to participate in that, who in their community thinks it's significant, and training people in their community so that they have the skills, so that when we leave, they have the skills to train more people in their country to do that for their community.
And what is it that GiveLove is training them to do?
We do eco-sanitation, treatment, and collection. So we do thermophilic composting, which treats and composts all of the waste, which can be used to reforest Haiti and helps with Haiti is deforested and their soil structure has been compromised by the lack of nutrients in their soil at this point, and their water table's been compromised because it's not getting replenished by the root system of the trees that have been gone and sold for greed. So they also have a very low agricultural output because there's not enough nutrients in the soil, and they spend a lot of money on chemical fertilizers that they buy from the Dominican Republic. So our sanitation treatment center work in community. They're localized treatment centers, so you're not pumping waste to giant lagoons in 5 different places in Haiti that are untreated and leaking into the water table. What we're doing is localized treatment, and it kills all the pathogens so that the kids aren't getting parasites. And
so you're talking about shit, right?
We're talking about shit, and we deal with shit all day long. Shit kills more kids worldwide than tuberculosis, AIDS, and malaria combined. 2.4 billion people in the world do not have sanitation. The lack of sanitation is the #1 pollutant to water, and by the year 2020, more than half the world's population will be living in mega slums around the world with no sanitation. More people have cell phones on Earth and have sanitation. So our project is to figure out viable community projects that are have a cost recovery cycle, that are contained in their community, that cannot be sort of pirated off or owned by wealthier people and wealthier corporations, but that it can be in the hands of the people of that community so that nobody can deny them that right, because we believe sanitation and the health that goes along with sanitation is a dignity that all people should be able to have, and that we as human beings should afford each other that opportunity to have that.
So when it's composted, does it smell anymore? Or what does it look like? What is that?
It's the craziest thing. So your body has a mechanism. When you have a bacteria in your body, it creates a fever. So you get a fever, like 101 degrees. Your body's trying to kill off that bacteria. The same thing happens in thermophilic composting. You have nitrogen from the waste, you have carbon from the wood chips or the sawdust that you use, and you have oxygen that gets into the spaces of the larger wood chips that you use. And the correct balance of that, along with market waste that's rotting in the markets and rats are coming around, and it's a vector for pests and disease. You incorporate all of that together in the right formula, which we teach people. We test it with thermometers, and we show them how to graph it and what to do if their levels are too low. But if you get to 120 degrees, it kills all the pathogens in 5 days. And oftentimes we get to 140 degrees, 160 degrees, and it's killing all of them in minutes. So your treatment center is just processing and killing and killing and killing. And we let it sit months longer than the EPA or the World Health Organization demands that you do. And in the end, you're ending up with compost that has no pathogens.
And it doesn't smell.
It doesn't smell at all. You can have a picnic next to our compost pile.